Hey mathematics learners, welcome to Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. So on today's video tutorial, guys, we are going to be tackling question 3.2 from the grade 11 mathematical literacy paper 2 that was written in November 2022 by the Eastern Cape Province learners, right? And in this video tutorial, guys, the topic that is being assessed, right, is packaging, okay? Because now we are going to have to calculate the area of this wall, right? And also then from that, determine how many bricks, okay, can we basically fit into this wall. We also have a measurement where we're going to have to convert from millimeters to meters, from centimeters to meters, right? So we've got some conversions coming in there as well, okay? So we've got packaging in this question where we have to determine how many bricks, right, we will be able to basically fit into a particular area of a wall, right? We also have some measurement questions where we're going to be doing some conversions, converting from millimeters to meters, from centimeters to meters, okay? So please make sure that you watch this entire video tutorial. So like I mentioned in today's video tutorial, guys, we are going to be tackling question 3.2. It deals with packaging, right? Okay, because with packaging, guys, you want to determine how many cans can you fit into a box, okay? How many bottles can you fit into something, okay? And in this case, we want to determine how many bricks can we now fit into a wall of a particular area. Okay, so let's have a look. Question 3.2 says, this diagram below represents a picture of the southern wall of the Sokutu family's living room. Okay, they carefully selected red bricks for the wall. This diagram is not drawn to scale. The following information indicated on the diagram below is useful for calculation. Okay, so we told that obviously this diagram is not drawn to scale. Okay, so a measured distance on this piece of paper does not represent a particular distance in real life. Okay, so there's no scale that is indicated here. It's not drawn to scale. Okay, however, what we are told is that this southern wall has dimensions, okay, and the length of the southern wall is 850 centimeters. The height of this wall is 5 meters, okay, and we're given the dimensions of one brick, okay. The height of the brick is 73 millimeters. The length of a brick is 222 millimeters, and the width of the brick is 106 millimeters, okay. Then we told how we're supposed to go about calculating the area of one brick, right? And to calculate the area of one brick, all we need to do is take your length multiplied by your height, okay. We are also told to note, okay, mortar is a workable paste which hardens to bind building blocks such as bricks. Okay, so here they're basically just talking about that paste that they mix together so that they can bind the bricks when they're probably building a house, building a wall, and so on and so forth. Okay, so they were just giving us a definition of what mortar is. Okay, so let's have a look at question 3.2.1. It says, determine the number of bricks needed for the southern wall shown in the diagram above. And we need to note the dimensions of one brick exclude the mortar, which is 10 millimeters, okay? And you may use the following formula, okay? So we want to basically determine what this question is basically asking from us, okay? Is for us to determine how many bricks would we need to build a particular wall of a certain area, okay? So for us to be able to determine how many bricks we'll need, right, we are given the formula that we can use. So this is made so easy for us, right? Okay, in grade 11. In grade 12, you need to now know how to obtain this formula on your own, okay? But in grade 11, we are obviously given this formula and we are told that, okay, to get the number of bricks that we will need, we need to determine the area of the wall in meters squared, and we need to divide that by the area of one brick in meters squared. Okay, but before we can actually get started with this question, right, I just want to just go into detail, right, with the information that was given to us here, right? Okay, so we were given dimensions here. I just want to talk about these dimensions that were given to us here, right? Okay, so I hope that is still clear for everyone. Okay, so we are given dimensions. We are given what the length of the wall is, and we're also given the height of the wall. Okay, so we are given the length of the wall. So the length of the wall is the distance from there to there. Okay, and we are told that that length is 850 centimeters. Okay, and then we are also given the height of the wall. Okay, so the height of the wall is the length from there to there, right? That is the height of the wall, and it is given to us as 5 meters. Okay, so we already see that we've got different units of measurement there. We need to take that into consideration. And then we are also given the dimensions for one brick. Okay, so I'm going to draw this for you guys so that you understand what is happening. Okay, we are given the height of one brick, right? Of that one brick, we are given the width and we're also given the length. Okay, so let's just see. All right, you guys already know that. Okay, when we're talking about a brick, right, we're talking about a brick has the shape of a rectangular prism. Okay, so this is our brick here. Okay, this is how our brick would look, right, in 3D. Okay, and we are given the dimensions for this brick, right? We are told that the brick has a height of 73 millimeters. Okay, so when you're talking about the height, right, that is the height of our brick. Okay, and it is equal to 73 millimeters. Okay, then we are also given what the length of our brick, and it is 222 millimeters. Okay, 222 millimeters. That is the length, right? And then we are also given the width, right? So this is our width here, okay? And we are told that the width is 106 millimeters, okay? So those are the dimensions that are given to us, right? And then we are also told that now, right, we want to determine, right, the number of bricks that are needed for the southern wall, okay, shown in the diagram, okay? So we want to determine how many bricks, okay? So if this is my southern wall, right, okay, how many bricks, okay, can I fit into this area, okay, of the southern wall, okay? How many bricks can I fit in there, okay? So for us to determine how many bricks we can fit into the southern wall, right, obviously we're just going to be focusing on the area of one brick. Do you see that? Okay. What is the area covered by one brick, right? And then we want to determine how many bricks now should we put into this area of the southern wall. Okay, so this is going to be our approach. However, we were also given additional information here, right? We are told that the dimensions of one brick, right, that are given, these dimensions that are given to us here, right, exclude the mortar, which is 10 millimeters. So it excludes that cement that is put on your brick, okay? Because you guys already know when you're building, they put cement, right, on your brick, right? So they'll put your paste, let's just say paste, right, on the top of your brick, right, and then place that brick on the wall. Okay, so now when they put that paste on your brick, how does that mortar, right, affect the dimensions of your brick? Do you guys agree that if we now put this paste, right, on top of our brick, right, the height of our brick is going to be affected, the length of our brick is going to be affected, the width of our brick is going to be affected. How is it going to be affected, right? It is going to increase by that 10 millimeters that is basically added. Okay, when we put our bricks, right, we're just going to focus on the height and the length. Okay, these are the dimensions that we are basically going to focus on, the 222 millimeters and that 73 millimeters, the length and the height dimensions, the length and the height dimensions. Those are the dimensions that we want to focus on, right? And all that we want to do is we want to add 10 millimeters, okay, to the length, because the length, right, the paste now affects the length by 10 millimeters, okay? And we're also going to add the 10 millimeters to the height, because now the paste, right, will affect the height by 10 millimeters. Okay, so that is basically what we're going to do to help us obtain the area of the one brick, right? And then we're also going to calculate the area of the wall, and then we're just going to substitute everything into this formula. Okay, so just follow with me here. Okay, so in question 3.2.1, right, we know that, okay, for us to determine how many bricks that we want, or the number of bricks that will be needed, okay, we just need to take the area of the wall in meters squared, okay, divided by the area of one brick. Okay, so we're going to start off by calculating the area of the wall. Okay, so the area of the wall, okay, is just going to be equal to your length multiplied by your height. Okay, and then what is the length of the wall, right? The length of the wall, guys, remember it was given in centimeters. Okay, so we need to convert these centimeters into meters. Okay, and the height is already in meters, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so all that we need to do is we're just going to use that method that I showed you guys, right, to help us convert from centimeters to meters. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, guys, we need to then convert the length of the wall, right, of 850 centimeters into meters, right, and we already have the height in meters. All right, so how are we going to convert 850 centimeters into meters, right? So I've basically done this drawing here for you guys again, right? You already know if we want to move from centimeters to meters, we're moving from the right to the left. Okay, so we're moving from centimeters and we're going all the way to meters. So what are we supposed to do here? We're going to divide by 100. Okay, so we're going to just take that 850 and we're going to divide it by 100, and this will give us the length of the wall in meters. So if we take 850 divided by 100, you will get the length of the wall in meters is equal to 8.5 meters. Okay, so now we're ready to calculate the area of the wall, right? Therefore, the area that is covered by the wall, okay, is equal to your length multiplied by your height. Okay, so what is your length? It's 8.5 meters multiplied by, what is your height? It's 5 meters. Okay, so if you punch this into your calculator, 8.5 multiplied by 5, right, you will get 42.5 meters squared, because meters times meters gives us meters squared. All right, so we've already calculated now what the area of this wall is. Okay, so now all that we need to do now is calculate the area of one brick. Okay, so for us to determine what the area of a brick is, okay, which dimensions are we going to use? Okay, so here, guys, I've already clarified that we're going to use the front view, okay, to help us determine the area that we will need for one brick, right? And what are the dimensions? If we just look at your front view, okay, there are 222 millimeters and 73 millimeters. However, we still need to now convert these millimeters into meters. Okay, so we're going to use the length of 222 and the height of 73. Right, so let's just do that. But here, guys, you need to remember, okay, we've got that paste that has been added to our brick, and that paste or the mortar that we were told about, right, affects the length of our brick. It affects the width of our brick. It affects the height of our brick. By how much? By 10 millimeters. Okay, so that means that we're going to add 10 millimeters to that 222. Okay, we're going to add 10 millimeters to that 73 millimeters. Okay, and those are going to be the values that we're going to work with to help us calculate the area that is covered by one brick. Okay, all right, and please note, when they spoke about this mortar, right, they didn't specify that it's basically 10 millimeters on the right and to the left, 10 millimeters at the top and at the bottom. It just said that it affects your dimensions by 10 millimeters. Okay, so with that in mind, you need to just take into consideration that you just need to add 10 to the height, 10 to the length, 10 to the width if we're working with the width. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so if you basically punch that into your calculator, 222 millimeters plus 10 millimeters, that will give you 232 millimeters. Okay, And then 73 millimeters plus 10 millimeters, that'll give you 83 millimeters. Okay. However, guys, remember we want the area of one brick, right, in meters squared. That means that we need to now convert these units of millimeters into meters. Okay, so we're going to go back to this diagram that I have for you guys here, right? How are we going to move from millimeters, right, to meters? Okay, so we're going to move from the right going all the way to the left, right? So that is our millimeter. Okay, so for us to go from millimeters to meters, right, you're going to take the value in millimeters and you're going to divide that by 10. However, you see that when you divide by 10, that only puts us at centimeters, and we don't want the units in centimeters, so we need to continue then and still divide by 100. Okay, and that will then now leave us in our units in meters. Okay, so now we're going to take this value of 223 millimeters, right, and we're going to divide by 10 and divide by 100. So that is the same as us just dividing by 1,000, okay, to get what the units are in meters. Okay, so that 83 millimeters, we're doing the same thing. We divide by 10, divide by 100. So that's the same as us just dividing by 1,000. Okay, so if you punch this into your calculator, you'll get that your units for your length in meters is equal to 0.232 meters. Okay, and the units for your height in meters is equal to 0.083 meters. Okay, so we've got now our units for the length. We've got now the units for the height for one brick. All that we need to do now is determine what is the area of one brick. Okay, so for us to determine the area of a brick, right, so the area, we are told that it is equal to, okay, the area that, to calculate the area of one brick, we're just going to use the length multiplied by height, right? Another guide on which dimensions you guys are supposed to use, right? Why is it supposed to be length and height and not length and width, right? And not height and width. That is why, because also they gave you that guide there that to get the area of your one brick, you just need to use the length multiplied by height. So it's very important to read information that is given to you guys, okay, because that is very important. It's a guide on how you need to approach your question. All right, so your area is just going to be your length multiplied by your width, your length multiplied by your height. Okay, what is the length in this case? It's 0.232 meters. Multiply, what is your height? 0.083 meters. Okay, if you punch this into your calculator, you'll get, okay, that the area of one brick, right, is equal to 0.019256 meters squared. Okay, right? And I'm just going to round off my final answer, guys, just to ensure that I maintain my accuracy. Okay, so now, guys, you can see we already calculated the area of one brick, right? And we already calculated the area of the wall. So now we are ready to substitute everything into this formula that we started off with, right? That said that for us to get the number of bricks that you'll need for this wall, right, you just need to get the area of the wall, right? What is the area of the wall, guys? We found that the area of the wall is 42.5 meters squared, okay? It's 42.5 meters squared divided by, what is the area of one brick? Okay, we found that the area of one brick, right, is equal to 0.01926 meters squared. Okay, what are you noticing here? We see that the units for your meter squared and your meter squared, they cancel, right? So the answer that you'll have, guys, right, it does not have any units. It's just the number of bricks that you will need. Okay, so if you take 42.5 and you divide it by 0.019256, you will get that, okay, you need 2,207.104,279 bricks. Okay, however, guys, you can't, you won't go to build it or wherever people go and buy bricks and say that, can I please have 2,207.10 bricks? No, Okay. However, in this case, guys, because you're working with a real life scenario, you need to then round this value up. Okay, because if you were to say, okay, that just means that I just need 2,207 bricks, that means that you'll be underestimating the number of bricks that you'll need. Okay, so it's always good that when you're dealing with a real life scenario, right, where you need to determine the number of a certain number of things that you need, material that you need, okay, just overestimate by rounding up. So in this case, that just means that you will just need, okay, 2208 bricks. Okay, so that's how many bricks you will need. Okay, so here we don't use the rounding off rules that we use. Okay, when you're just dealing with, let's say, when you're rounding off money and stuff like that, but you're now dealing with a real life situation, so you don't want to have like a shortage of bricks. Okay, you'll find that when you're now building, they cut your bricks and do all those things. So you'd rather have more bricks than less bricks. That is why we now overestimate and just say, okay, in this case, you need 2,208 bricks in total. Okay, so yeah, this question is a bit of a mouthful, guys. Question 3.2.1 was a mouthful, right? But I hope I explained all the concepts for you guys in detail, okay? And you guys were able to grasp what this question was actually asking from you and how you were supposed to approach this question. Okay, so we're done with question 3.2.1, guys. Let us have a look at question 3.2.2. Okay, bricks should be ordered to cover for the wastage. Okay, calculate the total number of bricks needed for the boundary wall. Okay, so now this builder is now saying that, okay, actually I need more bricks. Okay, and I need 10% more bricks. Okay, so now we need to determine how many more bricks, okay, from this 2,208 bricks that we've bought will this builder need. Okay, so all that we can do here, right, okay, we can just say, this is question 3.2.2. okay, so to determine how many more bricks we will need, right, so you can also still use the method that I always just emphasize on my channel, right? I've been saying, if you get this method, you can do any question when it comes to mathematical literacy, right? So already we know that, okay? The bricks we've got 2,208 bricks, okay? So use that full value. Don't use the value that contains your decimals, okay? For 2,208 bricks, okay? We want an X. We want an X amount, okay, of bricks. Okay, right? So this 2,208, what does that represent? That represents just 100% of our bricks because we haven't added any bricks yet. Okay, and then this X amount represents the 10% that we want. We want 10% more. Okay, right? So how can we then determine how many more bricks will be needed to also cover for the wastage? Okay, so that means that the additional bricks, right, will then be 110% because it'll be your initial bricks plus the bricks that are added, which is the 110%. Okay, so for us to determine the number of bricks that we will need, you'll just take that 2,208 bricks, right? There, you multiply by what we want. What do we want? Okay, so that 110% represents the total amount of bricks that you'll have. So you'll just take the 2,208 bricks, then you're gonna multiply by what you want. You want how many total bricks then will I need to cover for the wastage, right? So you're gonna multiply by 110%, and then you're gonna divide by what you have, right? You currently have that 2,208 bricks, okay, and that is represented by 100%. Okay, so if you punch this into your calculator, you will get the number of bricks in total that you would now have to buy to also cover for your wastage. Okay, I'll also show you an alternative approach to this. Okay, so that means that you'll actually need 2,428.80 bricks. But remember, guys, right, when we're dealing with real life situations, real life scenarios, right, you always just have to round the value up. Okay, so that just means that you need 2,429 bricks. Okay, because we have now just rounded that whole value up. Okay, or you can look at it in this way. Okay, so you currently have 2,208 bricks. Okay, you multiply by what you want. You want 10% more bricks. Okay, you multiply by what you want and you divide it by what you already have. So this 2,208 bricks represents just 100% of your bricks. Okay, so you're going to divide it by 100%. Okay, right? And if you punch this into your calculator, what do you get? You will get 220.80 bricks. Okay, so that basically means that we want to add 220.80 bricks to that 2,208. Okay, so that means that now the total bricks that you'll need is just going to be equal to the 2,208 bricks plus 220.80 bricks. Okay, if you punch this into your calculator, you'll get that you need a total of 2,428.80 bricks. But remember, guys, real life situation, you need to then round this value up, right? So it's just going to be 2,429. Okay, you can't just say, okay, I'm just going to need 2,428.80 bricks. No. Okay, just round the whole value up because you're working with a real life situation. You can't go into a shop and say that you need 2,428.80 bricks. Okay, you cannot. They sell whole bricks, not half bricks or quarter bricks or okay, they sell a whole brick. Okay, so you need to take that into consideration when you're dealing with real life situations. Okay, so that is the amount of bricks that we will need to basically cover up for the wastage as well. Okay, and that is basically it for question 3.2.2, right? Let us have a look at the last question. Question 3.2.3. It says the price of one brick is 4 Rand and 75 cents, including VAT. So VAT is included. Calculate the total amount to be spent on bricks, and you're told that we need to use the answer that we have obtained in question 3.2.2. Okay, so this is question 3.2.3, and you want to determine how much you'd pay, okay, for all of these bricks in total, right? And we are told that the price for one brick, right? The price for one brick is equal to 4 Rand and 75 cents. So one brick is equal to 4 Rand and 75 cents. How will we determine the total price for all these bricks that you are going to buy, right? So you're basically going to take that 2,429 bricks, okay, and you're going to multiply. Do you see that, guys? This method, I'm telling you, I think I'm onto something here, okay? It works every single time. Like you will literally not, you can't get it wrong if you follow this procedure. Okay, so start training your mind to think in this way. Okay, because I was also explaining exchange rates to my niece, right? And she was struggling with exchange rates until I introduced her to this method, and she's doing so well with her exchange rates. Okay, so always think, what do you want? What do you have? You multiply by what you want, you divide by what you have. So in this case, right, we already have the amount of bricks that we want. We want 2,429 bricks. Okay, so we're gonna multiply by what we want. We want to determine what is going to be the price of these bricks in total. Okay, so we're going to use this equation we are given. It's you can write this as an equation. Okay, the price of one brick is 4 Rand and 75. You can write that as a mathematical equation. One brick is equal to 4 Rand and 75, right? And we're going to use now this equation to help us then determine the price that you'll have to pay, okay, or this person will have to pay for all of these bricks that they want to buy. Okay, so you multiply by what you want. we want your value in units in rands. So you're going to multiply by 4 rand and 75. Okay, 4 rand and 75, and you divide by what you have. What do we have? Okay, we've got our units in bricks. Okay, so that means that you're going to just divide by 1 brick. Okay, all right. So that is it. That's all that you need to do. What do you see? This method is amazing because it helps you see what are the values that are canceling. The bricks are canceling. Okay, to help you see that value, your answer is supposed to be in units in rands. Okay, because you want to determine what is the total price that you'll have to pay. Okay, so in this case, then all that you then need to do is you need to punch this into your calculator, right? You will just take 2429 multiply by 4 rand and 75. Okay, so if you punch this into your calculator, how many or how much will you pay for these bricks? You will pay 11,537 rand and 75 cents. You know, guys, when you're dealing with money, you can just round it off to 2 decimal places, and that is fine. Okay, and we're basically done, guys, with question 3.2. Okay, so that is basically why I separated these two questions. 3.1 from 3.2. 3.1, guys, was just dealing with us interpreting a map. With 3.2, guys, 3.2 basically came out guns blazing. It came out guns blazing because we had to do a lot of things in this question. We were converting, right? At the same time, we were adding dimensions, okay, to the initial dimension of a brick, right? We were basically calculating how many bricks were needed, working with a percentage, right? And we were calculating cost of these total bricks. So we did a lot in this question, guys. I think from here you can just take a break, get yourself some water, then come back, right? And let us tackle question 4.1 together. Okay, so that is it, guys, for today's video tutorial. Welcome to all the grade 11 mathematical literacy learners. Okay, welcome to distance learning with Lee, guys. Even in grade 12, you guys will see the amazing content that I've prepared for you guys, and it's really gonna help. I've basically obtained such amazing feedback from the learners that have been watching the channel, right? A lot of learners are doing so well by just following my video tutorials, right? And making sure that you're also practicing constantly, not just the day before the exams, guys. Okay, practice always. Okay, constantly, so that even this method that I'm introducing you guys to becomes like natural to you guys, right? And easy to use. So please make sure that you follow with me. Buy yourself a notebook, right? And label that book Distance Learning with Lee. Okay, and then you just know that, okay, when we go through past papers on this channel, you do that on that book. And let's work, guys. Let's get these distinctions and let us achieve what we want to achieve when it comes to academics. Okay, so I'll see you guys on my next video tutorial. We're going to be tackling question 4.1, guys, and I'll see you then. That is it, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next upload, Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. Bye, guys.